Yeah, so I get
God
Hypnotic
damn,
and Hennessy, and I used to
didn't
pour it
hug you
together and
enough?
take shots. I was a DJ at one point, man.
1 point, yeah, sure.
Is that a picture with you with your clothes off on the street?
God, Mac.
His tits might be that big.
All right, let's begin.
You know what? Mac looks good like that.
Okay, so I was calling OTT today in order to try and establish if them and Chain Gang were still at war or not, which I have in certainty established that they are not. The war between those two groups is over. Okay, I don't really know why it ended, but it's over, and that's a good thing. With that being said, after I had a conversation with OTT, he hinted that there was some other shit that's going to be going down. So I made a call to Nice Ass and his crew over in Mirror Park. I believe it's called Havoc. And he hinted to the fact that him and his boys are going to be getting into a bunch of shit in Mirror Park with groups over who can hold down Mirror Park. Now, I didn't really understand what that meant, and I wanted to understand why, because he was just hinting a lot, but not actually giving me any information. So I went ahead and had a conversation with Mr. Zolo Livingston, Vinny Pistone, Peanut, and Ninja, or Chris. And what I was able to pry from their stupidity is that I believe that everyone is going to be fighting over territory in the city. Now, why that is, I have no idea. What the purpose of that is, I have no idea. But from what all the common things that are being said in all these conversations is that people are establishing where they're holding down and they're willing to go to war for it. So, just letting you guys know right now, next tsunami is going to be a fucking bloodbath. Okay.
Are they already doing this?
It's everybody. From what I understand from all these conversations, is everybody's starting next tsunami. Like
every gang in the city.
Nice Ass was saying, "Oh, just wait till next tsunami." OTT was saying, "Just wait till next tsunami." Even Chain Gang was saying, "Just wait till next tsunami." And I asked, like, did something happen? Did something change? And they said, well, it's been around, but people are going to actually. I think it's one of those things where there's been gas on the woodpile for a very long time. Just no one has lit the match. And I think everybody, gang-wise, is on the same page that the match is going to hit that woodpile next tsunami. So,
how do you want to handle this?
Well, that's why we're here. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get you guys in here and have this conversation and figure out a game plan on how exactly we are going to designate and respond to the influx of mass casualty calls on top of all the other shit that's already happening with the jobs and so on and so forth.
Oh, God, Romano, you're so fucked.
Why am I fucked?
Because in about 3 hours, he's gone. So's Tanker.
No, fuck all of you.
Mac will be asleep very soon.
Oh,
I'm also gone for the night.
I can't wait to go horizontal. It's going to be great.
Hey, real talk. So,
looking like I'm not going to be on duty today.
If we have multiple gangs involved all at one time, would this change the amount of officers that can respond?
So that's the issue, right? I'll say this. So if we're talking about like points of interest and groups holding down areas, I don't think it's going to be any like King of the Hill shit. I think it's just like, people are going to be holding down their block. If that is to do with, who knows? Could be drugs, could be advantages. War. Exactly. It's a turf war. So for me, it's more, I'm just confused on why they're all choosing the same time to do it. But again,
weird, right? To overwhelm us, probably.
I think it's going to be I'm going to be real. I think it's going to be a big war. I think that the best route to go with this, because if you're going to have PD involvement, I say we just have units all circle around that area, taking photos, documenting everything, and then once the dust settles, we have photo evidence, try to catch people without masks on, really, really like get into the shit, and then we just fucking raid these fuckers, man.
Well, okay, so
investigation.
I think you're jumping a little there.
Yeah, that was a big jump.
I think we ease our way into the pool here, and I think if we're going to, depending on how often this is happening, I think the best thing to do is kind of figure out whose turf is where. And if we see an obvious push in, if we get in on those scenes and we see those motherfuckers down on the scene, we try to scoop them up. I don't know how much we can allocate for pursuing these guys for hours on end, but at least trying to go in and scoop the downs and get them out of there and question them.
But that's under the hypothetical that it's only one gang at a time. What I'm hearing from BUSTIN is that they're all planning the same time. So this could be a possibility.
Well, there's
right?
different turfs.
I say that with, quotations, that they all fight each other at the same time in one area.
No,
So maybe it's a
nothing
bit
like
much about the
that.
raid stuff, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I don't think it's going to be one big war zone. I think it's just, when I'm trying to say, I'll say a little different is I think multiple gangs are fighting other gangs for turf, right? So like we look at Mirror Park, the gangs that we know that live in Mirror Park right now is Chain Gang on Nicola Place, Havoc, or the people who wear the blue shit, on Westmere Drive, the intersection between Westmere and Bridge Street, right next to Bo's old house. And then supposedly there's a group that wears black and white, also living in Mirror Park. And then if we go over, look at the south side, that's where it's going to be insane. Because let's say people are utilizing, territories and they want to expand. I mean, that's when it's going to get crazy, because we got the Eastside Baptist Church, which we all know isn't a church at this point. Across, literally in the same area, right at that corner, there's another group there I don't know the name of. And you got the Grove Street Ballers. And across from the Grove...
Yeah, it's talking about the blue people.
Yeah.
Blue guys.
Then across from Grove Street, you got the Vagos who are kicking up. Then across that street, literally on the Vagos territory, you have the gang that lives there and the houses across. And then you go across Roy Lowenstein. You got SSK between Roy Lowenstein and Jamestown. And then above them on Brogue, you got the other group that's been occupying those houses we don't know the names of. And then if you go all the way up to Eclipse, you have the other group that wears black and white. So I think that it's going to be fights originating in all those different locations all over the turf that each crew wants to hold down. And who's going to be contesting that? I think the hot spots for these fights are going to be the South Side and Mirror Park, next Tsunami. And then as gangs occupy different areas, that zone will keep on spreading like a fire. So,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like Mac's idea. Just do the best we can to support, as in, medical, because we can only do so much with these guys while this is happening, right?
Yeah. Tarts, where's your brain at with this? Being investigations.
I was going to say,
like
this might be a good opportunity for that.
Yeah, I would love to get a ton of information, but I don't have Pike. He's going to be out until Monday. Haywood would be back later. I might have to send him an email. But ultimately, whatever photos and evidence we can get would be great. But this is going to be hell day for EMS.
Oh, yeah. EMS is fucked.
So fucked.
So I think a couple things here. Number one, I think it is time that we start pushing towards and for a gang-related shooting charge. Just because my thought process behind it is being able to articulate that people are getting in fights consistently and having a charge that not along the lines of I don't care if it's a big charge. I care more along of treating each of the groups that are fighting fairly. So if we have one group that's getting reductions, the other side of that gets reductions. Does that make sense? Just so it's equal across both sides. So I think that's a big thing. And as well, I have to agree with Mac on this. I do think that we should prioritize, especially getting started. We need to understand who is fighting with who and for what. Document, get pictures. And then once we've established that, we'll be able to respond to it a lot better. Now, I will say this, with what Tinker's saying, I don't disagree that if people are going to be fighting on their turf where their houses are or whatever, and they're shooting and going in and out of their houses and, because you got to think, a lot of these shootouts, a lot of these crews are rolling up on each other like Vinewood or the South Side, randomly. But if you're trying to evict someone basically out of their territory, because that's what this is going to divulge to, I mean, we've all been a part of it on the other side. I think that we should not only just punish the people who are utilizing their houses as fortresses, but also use it as an opportunity,
Yeah, there's an opportunity here to get a lot of information on who's in what gang, who they fight for,
Yep.
what their turf is. I think we use this for that. We could make
Essentially,
files.
yeah. I would agree with that. That's kind of the basis what I was going by, surrounding the area, right? The basis of what I was saying was to document and see what's going on to where we can build a big enough case to where inevitably we could lead to raids eventually down the line. Obviously, we're not going to jump to that, but documenting, doing our due diligence and really looking into it so we can say, okay, for sure, these are the people involved. This is what's happening. And now we're at that point. So maybe I just need to clarify that more.
Base level, like now stuff, obviously it's going to start popping off. We're not going to know where it is. Once we get an idea of where these common areas are that people are going to be fighting for, we build a heat map. We start building presence in those areas. When times are slow, we get officers just kind of patrolling through there.
Yo,
get an idea of
Hobbs,
what's
thank
going
you,
on,
bro.
see if people are rolling in, who's aggressing. That way we can kind of see where the problems are coming from more than, more like just being close to it.
Yeah, I also think it's very important. We need to start flagging people in the MDT. So, like, for example, we know Vinny Pistone is part of Chain Gang. We know Zello Livingston, those guys. We need to go to their profiles, and underneath in the section of notes, we need to start flagging these people.
100%.
What affiliated gang what they're with, yep.
Yeah, so what I think we all do is Tarts, I need you to go ahead and pick 3-4 officers that you want to work underneath you guys, and that can kind of be like their first job is to start documenting those people in the MDT. We'll obviously help them as well. And in the shift change today, we'll talk to the officers about, I don't want people just tagging individuals because they find them one time with a certain bandana on or whatever. But if we can establish that they're running around with the same groups, wearing the same shit all the time, and we know for a fact that they're gangsters, then we need to start flagging them with the crew they roll with. So whenever we do get gang-related charges, it's a lot easier to tie them together for that charge.
Yeah,
Maybe we have people come
information.
through NCOs or command before they mark that so they can articulate to us why they know that.
I agree with that.
Put it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, doing the due diligence and making sure it's factual information and not just a hunch. I feel like that's fair.
The beginning of the department, Commish didn't want us going too hard on gangs and stuff just yet, right? But I feel like now we're at a good spot where we can start doing some investigating and documenting. So
yeah.
Yep, agreed. Okay, then let's do that. Arts.
Is he look at 5075 by the way?
Arts, what we'll do is we'll have you pick some people to start doing that don't have to come through us. But everyone else who's just a standard officer is going to have to go through NCOs and above in order to flag anyone in the MDT. All right?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I stole it from Mac.
smart.
So
Yeah, feel free if you guys want to use the
Mac's desk.
Yeah. So I've got Tarsus desk 5075 there, Cap. If you want to take a glance at it, it's the CID setup and everything so far. It's our rough notes until Pike gets a spreadsheet put together.
Do you have anyone in mind for those 3 officers?
So far, there's those 3 at the bottom plus Romano. Nobody else has expressed interest yet, so we'll take a look though.
All right, cool. I like all those names: Archer, Fleming, Iris, Villa.
Yeah, that gives me full spread across.
Kind of worried about the last one.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that one too. She's a bit of a hothead and also a part-timer, but you know what?
Who the fuck just erased my name, first of all? Second of all, I'm absolutely not a part-timer anymore because...
You're 100% a fucking hothead, though.
Oh, shut your fucking mouth, first of all. You're going to watch
Exhibit
your
A.
mouth and talk to me like
Exhibit
that.
A. All right, well, cool. Well, we can get back out there. I don't want to hold you guys for too long. Just wanted to fill you in. And like I said, I'll bring it up in the meeting today as well. Let all the officers know. I think the biggest thing here is for us, right, is, again, treating both sides fairly and really explaining or getting officers to understand that gathering information is sometimes better than going in with an iron fist and just demanding shit from people, you know?
100%.
And I think as long as our officers understand that, like, don't just run in there with your dick out and hope that it goes your way. Just be smart and allow these individuals. I mean, listen, They're gangsters. Who the fuck cares if they die? Let them kill each
I'm
other.
gonna say they're killing
And-
each other. That's doing best for us. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, exactly. Let them kill each other. Worst case scenario is one of them dies, and that's the best case scenario for us, as well as if they are downing each other or trying to kill each other, then we just chase after the son of a bitch into downed in the car, and they can't get away. Fuck, they're down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think as
Playing the long
long
game here, not the short one.
exactly, I think as long as we do that, we document it, and on top of that, the group that wins, you know, if they are selling drugs on that in that place or doing some type of crime there, we'll be able to know who it is and, you know, build up that for investigations for hopefully, you know, potential RICOs or whatever the fuck we want to do along the road.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, awesome. Everybody's good then. Thank you guys.
Good shit. Shift change in 30, right?
Yep, shift change in 30.
All right.
I'll be standing here for about 10 of that minutes.
No, okay.
Stuff. Good stuff. What's up, Robot?
Get out of the way, Bustin.
Sorry.
Did you?
Shit.
Don't you dare! Oh, you know what? Thank you. Sir, like a raise your hands in the lobby of MRPD right now. What's going on? I'm good.
Good, I'm on eastbound Adams Apple. Southbound Alta.
Struggling for PD hires? Nope. No, we're doing good now. We got sinker swims. We got another sinker swim tomorrow. We got Academy Sunday.
Eastbound Carlson.
So we're increasing the hiring.
have a delivery in the NYPD lobby.
Grab it for me. Hey, what's going on, Lincoln?
Big on to
What's going on, bud?
forum. I have
Stealing someone's car.
no mind, continuing forum. Going all the way around back to the table.
What is sinker swim? It's where we take people who think that they're ready to go on duty.
Taking
We
a
put
right
them
turn
through
off
like a
short
trial
break,
period,
southbound.
which is like a short academy. They prove that they are ready to go on duty, and then they don't have to go through the entire academy, and they can just
Now
go
northbound Alta.
through to
As a
probationary
government,
stages
evac.
and go on duty.